Hey guys! Ooh. Sorry, I'm a little bit behind on getting things set up here. I should have been a little bit more on top of things. Give me 1 minute while I get some lighting going. But yeah, I'm here. How's everyone doing? Did you get what you wanted out of anniversary this year? Oh, okay. One light. Too late. Okay. I'm here. Okay. Whew. Sorry, I had a little bit of time before stream, and I had to pick between being a functional streamer. It's a little bit more making things just slightly a bit more professional than usual, or I could continue writing my Fate draft or my Fate script, and I chose to write the Fate script instead. There we go. So I neglected to do a couple things I should have done, like unmute. Oh. Turning the game down. No, never mind. I didn't unmute my game. I didn't mute my game like I thought I did. Okay. Let me move you guys over to the game screen. As usual, let me know if the color balancing is off or if the sound goes unsynced. The sound will probably go unsynced today. We found out last time that I just wasn't hearing it when I'm doing when I'm using headphones. So if you guys hear the sound go unsynced, let me know immediately and spam it in the chat if you have to. Otherwise, let's just get right into it. Don't have time to kill, really. Whew. For those that didn't see the Discord, I managed to pull a 5th copy of Yuolga on JP. There has been some confusion as to what qualifies as a JP spoiler in the Discord and what doesn't. I'll just say this for... I hope you guys can actually hear me. Yeah, my mic's working. Okay. So, for what qualifies as a spoiler, the existence of servants is not a spoiler if they're like fully playable, fully summonable. There's not much we can really do to keep a lid on those, and I'm not treating them as an NA versus F or JP spoiler. That's fine in the general chat if they're playable. As far as a SE.RA.PH spoiler goes, just don't post a picture of the servant and say who they are in bold letters so SE.RA.PH can see it. It's not even a problem if you post like a picture of the servant and their names at the bottom. SE.RA.PH's not going to actively click into these pictures if she doesn't know the character. It's just don't throw up the banners that this is this character, and we can at least rely on SE.RA.PH's intelligence as well as her lack of intelligence in terms of memory to carry us through that. But for just having the servant appear, it's not a big deal. And again, servant spoilers are fine so long as they're playable. Like there's a servant in Ordeal Call 4 that you should not spoil in any of the chats because it's technically not a playable servant at this time. But in as far as the Yuolga goes being summonable, that's fine. I realize it's a little bit weird though. It is a bit of a spoiler because just the existence of Yuolga is a spoiler. But we don't have our server set up or our community set up in a way where we have definitive guidelines on how spoilers that should be available to NA players actually work. So not much we can do there. So yeah. Let's see here. So otherwise, I guess have I had any other anniversary stuff going on? I guess Grand Duels. The Grand Duel for extra class servants. I've actually finished those. Normally I Grand Duel until I hit my servant to Bond 10 and I clear out the class score. The class score took a while because we're doing 2 of them, but the Bond 10 was done ahead of time. Actually, I managed to, in the time it took me to do the extra 2 with Kukulkan, I managed to Bond 14 my Kukulkan. So I'm approaching that my first Bond 15 across either servers finally. And my Grands are a CL and Kukulkan, for those curious. Okay. So, last time I set up the ground rule, I'm only using servants from the extra franchise or part of this event. So, that Asterios there, can't use it. But I can't, and I'm going to use story supports where possible. That melt is getting progressively weaker. She's still good, but progressively weaker. I am going to use her though, even though I'm not going to have her in my front line. Also, this isn't the party I had set up for it. The party I had set up was extra. Here it is. Against Berserker, do I keep this lineup or do I switch it? I need to... Do I have any art servants from the extra franchise? Also, I think this is a Tomomo Cat fight, isn't it? Ooh, Tomomo Cat. Since it's a single target, that changes things a little bit? Okay. Who am I using? Man, Extra didn't have that many art. I guess I could use Draco if I really want to fuck around. Fuck it. This is not a boss fight I'm worried about breaking. We'll play around with this here. We'll use Draco. I probably won't use Draco for like the really hard, for the actually hard fights. Because I would like to actually have some difficulty with them. This is just for fun because I technically can. Because she is a Narrow. Looks like we found a new area. We may be some distance from the central area now, but Seraph's connections cannot be measured by standard means. Furthermore, there are sure to be areas accessible only via this route. I believe it would be wise to explore it. Lady Meltrillis, do you know what this place held before it became Seraph? Well, seeing as it's near the hair, I'm guessing it was for operating and repairing the robotics. Hands and feet are the appendages that react. It's going pretty good, Carlos. How's it going for you? Hands and feet are appendages that react the most strongly to touch, after all. So it must have been made into an arm because it acted like hands in the seabed investigation. This appears to still be the upper part of the arm, but if we can reach the Denner, we should be able to find the arm that was used to examine the soil. Did you say the seabed investigation? Obviously, things are messed up, but usually this oil rig never dips below the water's surface. So they needed some type of robotic appendage to find out if there's oil in the seabed below, right? Hey, Hayashi. I assume you aren't sticking around if you're saying night, but thank you for dropping in. This evil fanfare. Hello, all you naughty children. Have you been using all your AP? In the manga, Ishtar is one of BB's lackeys. Yeah, that's right. In the Seraph manga, there are quite a few differences. I'm going to look at the manga for the extra series after I'm done with these. Actually, we'll see when I get to those manga. Because part of what put the manga project... Part of why I haven't done Foxtail yet, even though I said I was going to. That's partly Fate Stay Night's fault, the visual novel. I just spent so much time working on that. I chose to prioritize that. And that project's been taking up so much time. I'm actually pretty close. I'm pretty making good progress on that script finally. I'm about 2/3 of the way done with it now. I finished up the UBW just review. I've still got the analysis portion to do there. But once that's done, it's just Heaven's Feel, which is the one I'm both looking forward to and not. But yeah. Use your AP. Yeah, I guess it is. Have you been using all your AP? You're not compromising with bronze apples, are you? Never mind the consequences. Just go up and use up what you want, when you want. That's the epitome of consumer culture, a sign of how much humanity loves to compete. Now then, it's time for everyone's favorite in-game entertainment. That's right, it's BB Channel time. I'm your hostess with the mostest, everyone's favorite ruler of the moon, BB. Our poor victim-guest today is our old standby, Nick & Co. We can see your underwear, BB. No, you can't. Previous episodes aside, I made sure to account for low-angle shots this time. Look, you can't see below my waist with this portrait, right? Don't let her lead you astray with that nonsense, Nick. So what kind of rules did you come to add this time, BB? Nothing helpful in knowing you. I don't know this rebellious phase you're going through, Meltros, but I appreciate that you can cut right to the heart of things. No wonder you're the smartest of the SE.RA.PH. No, of course, that's also exactly what alienated you from humanity, so... Is that true, milady? Don't listen to her. I never cared about humanity. I'm just doing as I please. I didn't like the idea of being one of BB's pawns. I don't get it. Passionate is such a good little girl, but you just refuse to listen to me. Maybe it's got something to do with your tiny bust and high and mighty attitude. Scrapping you clearly wasn't a harsh enough punishment. This is not about bust size. You hear me, BB? It's not. One more word on that subject and I'll kill Nick before you get the chance. How'd I get dragged into this? Wow, look at you, Melty. Talk about a temper tantrum. Still, breaking my favorite toy would be the worst thing you could do to me, so... If you try to do that, I'll have to retaliate by making SE.RA.PH disappear and all of you along with it. That's quite the threat. Can you really do such a thing? Oh, yeah. All I have to do is shut off the power and it's curtains for everyone. Some servants might still be able to survive that, but Senpai sure wouldn't. You're currently 4,000 meters below the surface level. You know, SE.RA.PH's the only thing keeping humans alive. So, the water pressure would flatten us. No, not at 4,000 meters. You'd either freeze or drown first. I'd like to see what you'd look like in 2D though, Senpai. I've always thought that boys are best enjoyed as JPEGs. Whoops! Look at me go right off on a tangent again. That always seems to happen when I talk to you, Senpai. I just want to let you know that I've got some new stock. Gate keys for each area, various items. Even a new sentinel. You expect a cat to show up on time for her cue? Never! This beastly beauty only shows up when she's good and ready. Now give me time off with pay! Castor, what's this fox lady that accompanied me here doing on BB's side? Nick, I really hate to break this to you, but... Or, I really hate to ask this, but is that another one of your servants? Her class seems different somehow, or maybe not. What are you talking about, strange master? The last thing I remember is waking up here in Seraph. I was just an abandoned cat in a box. Now I just run around and pay BB back after she took me in and put this total subjugation collar on me. As you can see, I can't control myself right now, so try to keep that in mind during battle, please. So, basically business as usual. How is that girl, Cat, still able to talk? Not even Lit was able to resist that Gios. Oh well, she's still a tough servant. Go on, kitty, dinner's served. Why don't you show Senpai what you're capable of to celebrate him making all the way to this arm? Here she comes, Nick. Don't hold back just because she's your servant. Now that she's been made into a sentinel, there's nothing you can do for her except put her out of her misery. Okay. So guys, those of you in chat, what did you guys end up getting on your GSSRs? If you rolled in the GSSR for JP. I realize it's an NA stream, so I'm sure a lot of people are probably NA only, but if you play JP, did you get anything good on your GSSR? Don't have any NP gauge. That's the one problem with this team. I don't like this card lineup. Okay, popping that. Recent buffs? I mean, I haven't had the chance to use many of the buffs, but like they're all servants I'm pretty happy got buffs. Muramasa in particular needed it badly. And then my brother's happy for Asterio, because Asterios is one of my brother's favorite servants, so I'm glad he gets Asterios out of this. And free to play at that. That's Fairy Ball. Yeah, the buffs have been good this year. I'm excited for some of the upcoming buffs, though. Medea, yeah, Medea got a really good buff for her rarity. What are tomorrow's buffs again, guys? If you remember, I think tomorrow's buffs was it the assassin and rider buff, the one that everyone's pretty damn sure is going to be Anne Bonny and Mary Reed and Charles Henry Sanson. Is that the first time I've used Draco on this account? I think it was. I'm so used to my Draco on JP. I forgot I never used her on this account. I would love an OG Scotty buff. Honestly, right now, like I feel like OG Scotty, Waver, and Talmo probably are the ones that like would benefit the most from the buff. I feel like OG Scotty and Waver need it more in Talmo though. Talmo at least has functions that I can justify using on her own. And OG Scotty, I guess, does in triple Scotty setups, but she feels way too similar to Ruler Scotty still. I'd like to see them do something with her to mix up her kit just a bit so that they have slight, like there's more reasons to use her over Ruler Scotty instead of just with Ruler Scotty. And I feel like Waver just needs a function at all beyond just being a walking 50% battery that you can get early in the game. I don't want to say for sure because we've had times where it's like, oh yeah, obviously we're going to have these buffs, but it feels pretty likely that it'll be them. Savior of France for Assassin. Ow, BB, they're too strong. A single fish gauge isn't going to be nearly enough. Cat, you didn't even bother to use that Camouflage or went out of trouble of making for you even once, did you? Camouflage. Right, I don't know what I was thinking. Trusting with an important job like this? Damn it! If only my Macho Robot plan had panned out in time. You should have seen this coming the moment you asked a cat for help. I just felt something under my feet. Is this a trapdoor? Damn straight it is. Now get back here and wait at your designated position. You got it! Okay, that's all for this episode. BB out. Wait, I won't say anything about that whole embarrassment with Kat. Just answer my questions. What's the story with this 128 new servants that Mabel woman mentioned? Are you moving the game to another table, even though this Holy Grail war isn't over yet? Oh, those? I summoned them, of course. I mean, naturally Lip went and accidentally crushed them all, but I expect I'll summon more once the stage is ready. After all, there's only around 30 servants left on Seraph right now. Where's the fun in that? There's no point in a Seraph without any danger. When it comes to servants, the sky's the limit. I want to fill all of Seraph with them, so that we get more intense infighting and more violent resistance. Otherwise, it won't be a proper recreation of the Temple of Time. What Seraph needs right now is thousands, no, tens of thousands of heroic spirits. The Temple of Time, you know of that battle. Who, me? I don't have any record of things that have happened outside of the universe. I'm just a game master, so it's your karma, your actions up until now that leads you viewers to draw connections between disparate events. Alright, that's enough Q&A time. Oh, but one last thing before I go. There's only one real-world hour left until you hit the seabed, which means you're well into the second half of the Great Seraph Escape game. Enjoy! So this isn't just another singularity. My apologies. I'm afraid I do not yet know myself. Merlin might be able to grasp the entirety of the situation, but as we ourselves lack clairvoyance, we can see no more than what is immediately before us. But that is no cause to despair. We have a clear purpose and hardy legs to carry us forward. First, we have to get Cat back. My thoughts exactly. I'm grateful to have you as a master. Let us continue on our way, Nick. I shall accompany you no matter where you lead. Sankwart. Let's just buy a gate key. The It would be fun to give Scotty an arts buff along with a quick buff. Just make her sort of the opposite of Ruler Scotty. I see what you're saying, U-Ball, but Oberon is actually kind of integral for a lot of teams. With like 70% sort of breaks that. Like it's different when you have a 50% battery, which every single like meta support has right now, except for Kalamo. And when you're Oberon, where you're actually essential for some servants to be able to return, that and his skill 3 is actually just that damn good. So while he's not got a lot going from DPS wise, support wise, he's not, to me at least, he's not just a walking battery. Whereas like Zhuge doesn't have a lot of uses outside of his battery anymore. Sure, there's probably a couple challenge comps that work better with him than the other major supports, but I feel like he could use another tool in his shed. We've certainly come a long way, although it appears to the path ahead does not lead anywhere else. Flank, what are you even talking about? I can answer that, Master. It is a word that specifically refers to one side of the body. You may have heard about the term applied to certain cuts of beef. Looks like there isn't anything here except another human memory. Why don't you touch it? Might learn something useful. Oberon or rocket fuel. Ah, that's fair, U-Ball. When weird things first started happening on SE.RA.PH, I was secretly thrilled. I'm not like the other academics. I'm a fixer. I was brought here in case things go wrong. My real job was to dispose of anyone who might get in our way, or try to leak secrets. Sometimes I'd also check how healthy the supplies that came in from outside were. It was dirty work, but so what? I'm a bad guy. It was nothing I hadn't done countless times before. I don't trust others. I can only see them as patsies. The weak are meant to be exploited. If I didn't, a punk like me without any parents, schooling, or luck would never survive out there. So I was sure I'd be able to survive this situation too. Groups without a leader always fell apart. They start by arguing, and then the educated class divides themselves into factions. The ones with vested interests start discriminating against others. Once a few people end up dead, that's where I come in. I'm not suited to being on top. I'm ugly, bad-tempered, and totally lacking charisma. So I make sure to follow people who aren't any of those things. Because curiously enough, leaders like that never have the trait that guys like me do. The endless capacity for brutally merciless violence. When you get down to it, my total lack of empathy for my victims is my greatest weapon. And just as I expected, Beckman began bringing the survivors together. He formed an organization, set down laws, and chose me to enforce them. It was wonderful. I was finally living in the world I dreamed of. I can indulge completely in my desire to dominate those around me. I killed good people. People I didn't like. One guy I fed to a monster just because I felt like it. Just because he caught my eye. I'm a bad guy. I never expected anything from this world. Nobody ever respected me. No one ever respected me except me. That's why I don't understand. Why did this happen to me? It was so nice. I learned there were other ways to deal with people besides dominating them. I learned about love, I never dreamed that a guy like me could find love. This world offered me salvation. That's why I do anything for her. And I mean anything. Not just petty crime. Not just petty crimes. Petty crimes I've done before. I'm not scared of anything. I don't care if all of America's against me. Nothing in the world can hurt me. No, wait. There's still one thing I'm scared of. In fact, it's downright terrifying. This thought alone scares me more than my own death ever could. I'm scared that one day she'll come to despise me and throw me away. I'm scared to go back to being a subhuman scum I once was. I know love now. My eyes are finally open to the concept of affection. To affection that could change the world. That's why if the alternative is losing this love I've finally found, I'd rather watch the whole world burn. I don't understand. Nick, I do not profess to know what it is you have seen. But that was the voice of a wounded sinner pleading for help, asking God for forgiveness on his deathbed. Why are you getting sentimental? It doesn't matter how they try to cover it up. A sinner's a sinner. They can repent all they want, but that won't change their sins. The only way to do that would be to undo the damage their sins cause. But humans don't have that power, so all they can do is try to balance the scales by doing good deeds. The sins remain forever. Even if someone puts their sins behind them, a sinner is still a sinner. You know what I'm talking about, right, Gawain? You go around telling others to do good deeds, to protect all that is good, but you don't include yourself. Much as you play at being just, you're doomed to be trapped by the justice you yourself will face in your final moments. I cannot deny the truth of what you said, and yet I am amazed to hear you of all people say it. Thank you, milady, but you need not concern yourself. I'm satisfied the way I am. In the end, acting as we wish is truly what it means to be subhuman. Don't worry about it. I wasn't concerned about you at all. If it makes you happy to follow social customs or the law or your emotions, then knock yourself out. That kind of posturing is also something only humans do. What sad creatures you are. Hey, Obra Jr., glad you could join us here. Let's see. So, got over on by a fluke while trying to get Bargist. Yeah, I'm feeling semi-ROM. Like, I can see semi-ROM users shooting. I'm trying to think. Any other assassins? Could be Huyon Zhou. We are getting the welfare version, not, like, next week as well. So, it wouldn't be that surprising to see her drop the buff on the OG as well. She could definitely use a buff. I'd also like a buff because she's one of my primary looping assassins in NA right now. Or she's really my only looping assassin in NA right now. Other 5-star assassins. Other 5-star assassins. Gosh. Would be nice to give Li Shuwen something, because I feel like he could use either want his damage to be bolstered even more, or I want him to have a little bit more stability. Howdy, howdy, Justice. Let's her have a caster class interactions. Negate rider disadvantage, provide advantage against or negate cast. No, provide advantage against assassins and provide resistance against assassins would be the buff. Jack is a 5-star servant. You could give a buff to Jack. She's kind of simple for this point in the game. Okay, I need something to farm with here. Yeah, these guys aren't going to help me much, so I'll just throw Emil Alter on the team. Draco's probably not doing much for me. Summer Kiara, though. Summer Kiara I can get something out of in an AoE map like this. We're almost at this area's final zone, the one assigned to the Sentinel. Do you really plan on having that servant join us? Killing her would be a lot less trouble. Agreed. If you can't depend on someone to be reliable, you can't call them truly an ally. In my opinion, allies who don't work well with others or who don't know how to read social cues are a lot more trouble than tough opponents. Pot calling the kettle black much? Be that as it may, the more options at our disposal, the better. I myself would be hard-pressed to fend off a cadre of enemy archers on my own. On a different note, milady, would you mind telling us exactly what a sentinel is? I was under the impression that every sentinel was an alter ego and vice versa. It is true that we alter egos were originally salvaged in order to be made into sentinels. But a sentinel doesn't have to be an alter ego. BB can turn anyone she likes into one. It's more of a de facto class, really. All she needs is a spirit origin that can handle a camouflage. Camouflage. So the phage refers to bacteriophage, a virus. I never would have guessed that such power was like an infectious disease. Suits you alter egos well. What do you mean by that? What do you know about us anyway? Your avatars that BB made out of her emotions, right? Basically, you're a patchwork of spirit origins made from multiple servants, multiple goddess essences. Inhuman murder dolls whose very existence cheats the system. What, no comeback? And here I thought the patchwork remark would have offended your sense of aesthetic. Not at all. I'm just impressed by how well you understand us. Yes, we alter egos are cheat spirit origins. We were monsters tied to 5 emotions that BB cut off from herself, deemed unnecessary for perfect AI. Love and hate, pleasure, innocence, yearning, benevolence. What do you mean, were? Everything this smug archer said is in the past now. We've grown and evolved since then. We used to hate being so beholden to our emotions, but not anymore. We've learned to face them head on. We may not be able to become human, but we're trying to understand how they feel. And we're happy remaining as alter egos. As long as there's even one more human out there who accepts us as we are, we don't mind being monsters. Well, isn't that a lovely story? And did you ever find such a fool? Of course, they're everywhere. Humans turned out to be much more accepting than we thought. I'm glad to hear that. A human once told me no doll could cry when she was having fun, or smile even though she was sad. So if you can do that, that means you're well and truly alive. I'm picking up some serious feels around here. I mean, it makes sense that the tension would escalate in what's clearly a boss stage, but my keen feline nose smells some drama going on around here without me. Let me guess, Master, you're thinking of bad things, like how you don't need any more servants. Or how having more around would just be a big pain, so you may as well defeat this lost kitty and be done with it, am I right? Don't worry, we're here to save you. Oh, I guess you like doing things the hard way, don't you? I'm super happy to hear that, but I'll save the gratitude for later. Okay, let's get to fighting. BB may be pure evil, but she still took me in and fed me. The head of the fish went to cut the grass. The obligation of this society went to wash clothes. The dog, the monkey, the pheasant can all go straight to hell. Yep, no doubt about it, felines are primates' best friend. Sentinel Cat launching. I'll tell you this right now, Saber and Archer. You're gonna have a rough time of it here on Seraph if you can't figure out how to read the room. Those were words that Tomomo Cat said just now. Like, you know what? Certifiably words. Hi, Robin Hood. Okay. Just gonna do this round 1. That lasts 5 turns. I feel like I can safely pop that early. Heard how blunt they are the last few years. That Tammy Cat is a berserker. Yep. I'm aware. Okay. What's the max for this? I don't know. Either way, I'm going to pop that to try getting an NP out of this. Yeah, there's 2 5-star casters, so you could see there's 2 chances for them to buff meta supports that are falling out of favor. Will they? Who knows? But they could. How many more rounds are these things lasting? Only going to get 1 more Mermaid's Nourishment, but then I can use it on the next round, so I'll hold off on any of that. Okay, I know I'm one about this. Please target BB. Or you can all just pop skills. Okay. Okay, I have turns to use those last 2. Shikibu? Yeah, Murasaki Shikibu. That'd be interesting. Oh, he had evade on? Son of a bitch. And now he's gonna drop an NP and kill someone. Fucking wonderful. Of course it's my DPS. Thank you, Robin. Always a gem, you are. Oh, I had guts. Get fucked. Okay. Robin was buffed. Yeah, they did give him a battery, didn't they? See, I thought Robin got buffed pretty recently, but no, that was Billy the Kid that got buffed this year in NA. Oh, she put an evade on herself. It's only 1 time, though, so I can get around that. No, I have no batteries, though, and I must scream. I can lock this, though. This is a good lineup to have. I'll pop this. I should actually probably pop that. That should stop the next evade from going through. Yeah, yeah. Slowly killing those year 1 skills. Because Golden Rule is like one of those year 1 generic skills. The design philosophy of FGO back then was very different. The way they go about skills was not... Because like nowadays, pretty much every skill made is... like, it's a unique set, like, skill with its own custom effects. At the start of FGO, though, they had, like, repetitive skill. Like, you'd have like, all the servants largely shared a pool of skills, so you would end up with servants that had very mix-matched kits just based off of what skills they had in lore. It's one of those things where, like, skills today are very different from skills back then. Yow, nice damage. Don't worry, I'm finally back to my old self. Rip. You shot her! Why? Why are you so shocked? Why wouldn't I kill an enemy servant? In fact, here in Seraph, every servant besides me is going to be an enemy by the end. Didn't BB explain that? She was referring to the servants who were lured here by her sweet talk. But Talmo Cat is a member of Chaldea. She is not so rash as to... My apologies. Regardless of the circumstance, the fact remains that she is now on BB's side. No, I'm not. It's just that I was never going to woof it through Seraph all on my own, even though when it comes to survival, I am top cat. I chose to go along with BB so that she'd help me majorly power up by giving me Camouflage. And after that, I was just waiting for a chance to rejoin you. I never thought my own ally would end up shooting me. Don't you know that cat curses are permanent? You're alive? That hurt like hell, but it wasn't fatal. Why you do this, Edgemia? You know, Edgemia as in Edgy Emia. Not the nickname you gave Emia in the JP version, cat. Idiot. We've all been avoiding that subject, and she just came right out and said it. Still, it's about time someone did. Honestly, I've been waiting to say something myself. Trust me, I wasn't trying to be merciful. I know my way around magic circuits, and I saw your spirit origin was fuzzy in parts. Those parts perhaps look like another symptom I know about. So I assumed they were your Camouflage and took my shot, that's all. Crude, I know, but it was a matter of life and death. And don't thank me, it's irritating. Oh, you're so hard-boiled, Edgemia. You just gained some cat bond points. I said shut it. Or are you used to flapping your lips? You don't know how to turn them off anymore. Hey, don't be like that, Edgemia. Anyway, sorry for all the trouble, Master. Thanks to you, I am 100% BB free, so now I can help you out again. Good to have you back, Cat. As they say, all's well that ends well. I believe this concludes our exploration of this area. Why don't we return to the church now and let Lady Cat heal up? Well, aren't you considerate, Saber? Let's go. You can fill me in on everything I missed on the way. Nine Lives hurt Mitch. I'm pretty sure it's not what was being referenced, Hayashi. Wangina? I've heard decent things about Wangina, to my understanding. It's right now, she's not game breaking, to my understanding, but like, if you want to compare her to any foreigners right now, like, she's pretty much on par, if not a little better than someone like Yang, to my understanding. But I could be wrong about that. Mad Talmo stole his menu theme. Oh yeah, you're all back. I'm so glad to see you. Nothing noteworthy has happened around here. I see you found another servant, though. Hey there, I'm Talmo Cat. You look good enough to eat. Anyway, I'm just a teensy bit mortally wounded here thanks to Edgemia mercilessly shooting me after our battle was already over. So I'm just gonna take a cat nap on one of these nice benches. Can you get the complicated stuff out of the way while I curl up? Lady Cat makes a good point. Now is the time for us to plan our next move. We can rest afterward. We have explored every area to which we have access, but there is no route that leads to the central command room, the chest area. Should we continue with our expedition, or should we consider finding a way to escape from Seraph? What do you think, Nick? Did we really explore everywhere? I am impressed you noticed that, Nick. Remarkably observant. I was just thinking the same thing. If Seraph is modeled after a woman's body, you have reached the inevitable conclusion. Lady Mabel, allow me to ask you something. So far, we've been in the front gate, the cable area, the dock, the robotics control area, and the separator area. It may be twisted, but Seraph is based on Seraphix. Were there other facilities in Seraph besides those I mentioned? Oh, well, the soil survey room, the resource compression, the drying area, and the dump, I guess. You know, that's a good question. It feels like there should be more facilities here. I thought that might be the case. You have my thanks. Meltrilus, I believe it is time for you to come clean with us. You know about these other areas, don't you? True. I guess we're not going to find anything just searching the front side. I suppose it's time to tell you about the other side. Other side. Seraph has a 2-layer structure. And I don't mean like a 2-story building. I mean that it has a front side and a rear side. I was originally a rear side sentinel, but BB ended up scrapping me after I disobeyed her. Scrapped, eh? Why would she do such a thing? You made it quite clear that you were no friend of humanity. No, but I'm even less a friend of BB. If I worked for her, I could never be the one on top, right? So I decided I was going to work towards getting everything I wanted myself. And if you're all trying to stop BB as well, it only makes sense for us to cooperate, right? A rear side, huh? No wonder I haven't seen any other servants around here. But how do we get there? I didn't see any route that looked like it would lead there. That's because humans and servants can't cross to the border between the two sides. Only we sentinels can. If you want to go there, well, the only way would be to have Seraph itself turn over. How do you do that? Well, you have to figure out yourselves. I haven't got the foggiest. I guess we just have to put our faith in the 27th secret technique. You know a way, cat. This cat is always listening. Tell me, why do you think the mochi you have on New Year's Day is so yummy? It's because baking it underneath also bakes it on the top. If it won't turn over on its own, you can use your paw instead. Attack the weakest part, fortune comes to merry homes. Turn the link, and link turns you. I didn't understand a single word of that. Now I see. I am chagrined. Rarely have I heard such beautiful lyrics. You must have been a great poet. Are you in fact a manifestation of Murasaki Shikibu, perchance? Foreshadowing! I think she only launched like a year later, too. Close, but no cigar. You'll have to try and guess my real name again later, Sir Triss. I know what to do now, mostly anyway. Is that so? Well, very well then. I shall leave the matter of reaching the rear side to you, Nick. Still, our ultimate goal is the central command room. Will getting to the rear help us on that regard? It will, yes. Once you get to the rear side, just head to the same coordinates as the command room. Then all you have to do is flip the body back over and you'll be on the chest. I see your question. I see your question now, Thomas. Sorry, Thomas. I saw that earlier, but I was busy with my day job. I'll get to that. Let me finish up this chapter. This story section. Don't let me forget. That way you can get there without going through the route that Lip destroyed. That said, Passionate herself is there, which means we will have to fight her. That is a difficult proposition. That alter ego is effectively invincible. And unlike Meltrilus, we cannot reason with her. Even if we all work together, our chances seem slim. Well, it isn't it kind of ridiculous to even think of trying to reason with alter egos? I mean, the one with the claws and the one with us are both completely inhuman monsters, right? Honestly, just being near one scares me. It's like being around a bomb that can go off at any time, you know? I agree with you, but Nick isn't afraid of them at all. Why is that? I can at least partly understand with Meltrilus, but Passionate is nothing but a monster. Oh, come on. She seemed like she was in a lot of pain. Are you serious? Did I really just hear you say that? You're an idiot, you know that? I've heard of being soft-hearted, but you're something else. Still, if you're looking for some insight or a bit of advice, the restraints are what's controlling Passionate. If you can break their hold on her, I'm positive she'll help you out in return. She's not like me. She's a good, honest girl, the sort who'll spend the rest of her life paying back someone foolish enough to save her. How can you be so sure? Just look around. we're talking with 2 servants who joined us after we thrashed them. How is that not enough to convince you? That proves nothing. There's no comparison to be made between Chaldea servants and Seraph servants. I'll come along to the rear side with you, but I'm not going to bother fighting Passionlip. Boy, Edgemia is so mistrustful. I don't know why. After all, Sir Triss is completely trustworthy. Right, Sir Triss? Indeed. I would like to think so. At any rate, now that we've decided our next course of action, I suggest we all rest up. Finally, a break! And if I may, Nick, allow me to pay respects to you once again. How come? Oh, if you didn't notice anything, then no matter. It's just that you helped me remember that my own training is far from complete. Now then, I suggest we begin by freeing Pashlip and then finding out what she has to say. I'm sorry I haven't been any help. If anything, I've just been keeping things from you. I know you said I could just work on taking back a bit at a time. But honestly, I don't know if I can. I may be an alter ego, but I was also scrapped. There's no way I'd be able to take on 128 servants all by myself. Just look at how much it took out of me to be only one. It's hopeless. I don't have enough faith in my specs, you say? No, that's not it. I'm worried I might not be able to protect you, that I might fail to live up to your expectations. I want you to like me, and my performance in battle is all I have to offer you. What? That's not true. I'm more like the perfect alter ego than anything else. I know my hands aren't very sensitive, so I'm not the best at delicate operations. But my other stats are the best out of all the alter egos. I'm sure that if I regain my full power. Only if I go back to being who I used to be, we won't be helping each other out like this anymore. I don't know who I am now. Do I want to go back to who I was, or do I want to stay like this? Still, Seraph isn't going to wait around. I need to help you get out of here as soon as possible. And to do that, we need to defeat more servants and use their resources to return me to my old self. Once I defeat every servant here, I'll defeat BB and take control of Seraph myself. Will you please stay with me until then, Master? So they're all sleeping now. I don't get them at all. It's hard to believe a bunch of pacifists like them managed to survive this long. You shouldn't be doing things like exploring Seraph or trying to solve the mystery of what happened to Seraphix unless you've got time and energy to spare. Compared to that, BB's proposal couldn't be more attractive. It fits perfectly with my own desires. The moon sells an unlimited holy grail. Here in Spiritron world, it can even be used to falsify the past. We'll never get a chance like this again. Even most heroic spirits can't resist that kind of temptation. I mean, of course, I am, of course, no exception. You can believe people are innately good all you want, but you're only fooling yourself if you think everyone is acting purely out of goodness of their hearts. Okay, done with that reading section. Yes, Tacos, I saw your question in the server earlier. Sorry for not getting to it immediately. I was busy at the time. And then I did get a little drowned. I actually haven't looked at the Discord server all day, just I've been pretty busy today. Olga, as far as reacts go, it's complicated because I know a lot of people would love to see Olga sooner rather than later. At the same time, it is a huge ass spoiler FGO wise for Seki to even show her that servant, and it doesn't really make sense because no real historical component that we know of so far. So unless something with the end of part 2 really changes my opinion on this, I do think she will be included as an off-the-shelf part 2 add-on. But there's plenty of time for my thoughts on that to change, because Seki's not getting to the end of part 2 for a fair while. I'd be surprised if she's at the end of part 2 by the time we're all running the finale of part 2 in 2 years, if she's still on it at all at that point. So, Olga is one of those, like, man, we're going to be sitting on this one for a fair amount of time, even though I know she'd be huge. Worst part is, like, if we tack that to the end of... Well, no, I guess she'd have played FGO by then. There's not much to show her. Like, as far as, like... I don't know if she'll have beaten the... I don't know. There's a lot to going into Olga and, like, what we would do with her. There is a lot. Is that her main gimmick? Is just janky and synergize with the sports you'd use it? Yeah. Yes, so I'm probably, for off the shelf, I'm probably splitting up part 2 the same way I split it up in terms of design for the campaign. Not that I've made it to part 2 yet, but I've planned out that the campaign that far. I'm going to split it into 3 parts right now. Lost Belt Prologue through Lost Belt 5, parts 1 and 2. Oop, my phone locked. So, Prologue through Lost Belt 5, part 1 and 2. And then Heian Kyo through Lost Belt 7 will be another part. And then Ordeal Calls through the finale will be the final off. So there'll be 3 off the shelves for part 2. Because those all feel like reasonable splits. It's also about just give or take 2 years per part, excluding obviously part 2.5. So that seems like a good split just with how part 2 looks. Like, what am I saying? We've already decided on FGO part 2. Or part 1.5 and part 2. We're not doing off the shelf in chunks like that. Off the shelves are going to be done chapterly going forward, just because the chapters are all meatier. I might bundle some chapters together if they're shorter, or if I feel like it's just not worth doing a single off the shelf. Like Tunguska probably will not be its own off the shelf. Tunguska will probably be coupled with Trom, for example. But yeah, no. Going forward, off the shelves are going to be mostly chapter by chapter, outside of where it's either that short or it makes sense to merge them, like with Olympus. I could tack Olga onto LB5, but to me it just doesn't make much. There's a lot going into Olga that's beyond LB5 too, such as her the class itself. I'm gonna have to explain, which I kind of know how that class, like what's going on with that class, because I have seen spoilers for the Olga fight, so I'm not gonna go into now. But there's a lot that just I don't think it's worth putting her in earlier than the end of part 2 right now, which is a little unfortunate. I mean, I mentioned it when she jumped into chat before, but she does know about the Thousand Saint Quartz, kinda. I'll tell her about it again next time, like we're actually talking about FGO, because I'm sure she's forgotten about it already. But it'll be funny to see if she has any chance at catching up to that. Because some of the, like, Lost Belt 6 alone is going to take her forever to beat. That's a solid, like, basically 3 chapters taped to each other as far as length goes. So, if she can catch up in time, awesome. I don't anticipate she will be able to. That's going to be incredible. So yeah. Okay. If I'm not wrong, yep. Tickle hand. Okay. Saber, we're fighting a Lancer. I'm sure it's just like the worms, but do I have any AoE sabers that I can use? Probably not. I technically use Shiki. No, I can't use Shiki. We learned our lesson last time. I can technically use Saber because of Extella. I'm not gonna though. I might be stuck with Neuro again. Damn it. Okay, yeah, we're gonna use Neuro. Tacos, there's just a good chance I don't really touch on like doing Solomon after London. Ooh. Yeah, no, we're not doing Olga after LB5. I also don't expect to be doing Olga after LB7 because there's so much more with Olga after LB7 because of the Olga quests and the lore that gets dropped in those. And the most recent one, to my understanding, drops a lot of lore about the nature of you Olga in general, and the Unbeast class is very tied to that, to my understanding. Like, what's going on with you Olga? So there's a good chance we're gonna need to wait till the end of part 2 in general to do her. Had to sit down for a long time about her class, including naming it president class or something. I saw that in the interview today. Very well. I shall remain here at the church as always. I hope you return with good tidings, Nick. But please come back as soon as you can. And Gawain, if you ever feel like staying here yourself, I'd be more than okay with it. The Olga quest as far as off the shelves, you mean? Or as far as, like, I'm sorry, I'm a little... I might be misunderstanding what you're saying here, because it's a little complicated with the Olga quests, because if we're waiting to the end of part 2, there's a decent chance Seki's already seen them for Olga. I'll quickly pull them up in the video, but there's not going to be much of a reaction to the Olga quest. It's complicated. I understand that, like, so off the shelf, okay, off the shelves, good. The Olga quests will be coupled with something, most likely. Unfortunately, because they're split up and they're unlocked in a very specific order, they might even be, like, singularly, like, just coupled with a part from the story. So, like, Olga Quest 1 with either Ordeal Call 1 or 2. Olga Quest 2, coupled with 2 for sure. We're probably going to end up doing 1 Ordeal Call, 1 Olga Quest, 1 Ordeal Call, 1 Olga Quest. But I'm not even sure Seki will be able to beat the Olga quests when she gets to them. If she ever gets to them. Like, this is so far out, there's enough time for everything to change. She's not even started on Ordeal Calls yet. Not Ordeal Calls, Epic of Remnants. Alright, here we are, once again, the flanks separator. I feel I must ask, is this how we'll get to the other side? You bet, Sir Gawain. The flank is one of the human body's most vulnerable points. No living creature can ignore being tickled there. Seraph won't be able to resist turning over. I hope that doesn't actually happen, at least not like this. But then again, this is BB we're talking about. I guess there's only one way to find out. Give it a shot, Nick. I'll pick up the pieces. Alright, pardon me. Gentle strokes. How very delicate of you, Master. You're a real gentleman, aren't you? Still, what intensity? Like getting punched by a berserker. Oh, could it be? And now this is happening. Hey, easy does it. That's a sensitive spot, you know. You're going to affect everything if you do that. Keep it to just a touch this time. All those items I sold you out of the goodness of my heart, and this is how you repay me? BB is most displeased. This won't get you any closer to that rear side you so yearn to visit, you know. I won't let you. You've got to be punished for this little stunt first, Senpai. Go get him, Sentinel. Oh, on it. I've been waiting forever for my turn. Wait, why am I literally in the dark? Is this one of those altar versions that's all the rage now? What the hell is this lighting crew doing? The backlight is so strong you can't see me at all. I guess this is what happens when you put a Sentinel together on short notice. But you've had plenty of chances to shine before, Elizabeth, so I'm sure you can make it work. Okay, cue the music. Don't let her appearance fool you, Senpai. She's singing. Her singing still packs a wallop. An exclusive concert from nobody's favorite idol should be a nice way to wrap up the first half of this quest. Enjoy. Won't have the ability to clear the Olga quests. Yeah, that's the funny part about the Olga quests. So we might be reading those on like video for her. Ugh, this hand's kind of rough. I'm gonna turn the voice volume up. Let's do this, actually. Oh, I have Mighty Chains. I could have put that last. Fuck, I forget about the Mighty Chains sometimes. Okay, I'm gonna lock this here for a moment. I'll buff block you. I was hoping for a crit on that. Yes, S.E.R.A.'s buff does make her Summer BB compatible. Summer BB is really becoming just its own style of play, ain't it? Oh, that buff was largely through anyways. Okay. You're actually probably not the most useful servant to bring out here, Gilgamesh. I also haven't done your rank ups yet, even though I said I would try to do it before the next stream. Not a sunlight battlefield. S.E.R.A.'s buff didn't ditch the turn delay. Oh well, you can't always get away without the demerits to these skills. You know the enemy removes a debuff next turn. Sorry, Liz, you're about to die. And unlike Kat, you're not going to stick around in the party. So broken that she needs her main damage steroid to be on a turn delay. No, not particularly. I forgot that Liz was in my back line. I'm surprised she's only bond 4. I made an explicit effort to level up the bond of my servants, not of a lot of my servants back then, around the time I got her, or way after I got her. I'll be back. Don't you forget it. Too bad. Oh well, I'm sure you'll eventually get the CD Elizabeth in another event. Anyway, since you really gave it your all this time, Senpai, I won't get in your way anymore. Here you go, at long last. What could be waiting on the rear side? Get ready to... Hold it. What do you think you're doing, Lip? I didn't order you to come here. Hurry up, Nick. If Lip looks at us, it's all over. Need harder, or just start punching. Do whatever it takes to turn this place over. Hurry, everyone. I'll deal with her. Those claws are even more devastating than they appear. I won't be able to hold her back long. Don't do it, pretty boy. You can't stop a sentinel on your own. Get away from her. Just run for it. Even the sun has to set sometime, Sir Gawain. Gawain, this way. There's no time. Go on, I'll blow her sky high. Whoa, the world's slipping around you, Master. That must be the rear side entrance. But what about Sir Gawain? Sir Gawain! Forget what? Wait, who did we just fight? Okay. I don't anticipate we're going to move forward with the... Oh yeah, I forgot. Ass. Yeah, we're going to hold off on moving to Act 3 immediately. We're going to do a couple of gravitational sphere quests. These should be relatively quick going, though, because I'm not playing at doing these fairly, because they are not worth stalling out the entire stream on. We're just going to do some basic bitch cuckoo looping until they're dead. Where's my cuckoo team? Oh, did I get rid of it in favor of setting up a Super Ryan set? Okay. I don't remember what I was using a Super Ryan on either. I really don't. It was probably a Memorial Quest, but I don't remember which one I was fighting. Where is Cranking? I know it's around here somewhere. There's Cranking. It's like my JP streams, except it's in English. I'm gonna roll for Alco when she comes to NA. Yeah, I'll roll for her. I am gonna be focusing on getting Alice though, so I'll go for one copy of her, and then I'm gonna go for as many copies of Alice as I can get. And then if I happen to pull NP5 Alice, I'll shift back to Alco. Basically the reverse of what I did for Alco to Alice and JP. Will that work? Who knows? I would love to have Alco though in NA, especially because right now I'm doing, or I just finished Grand Duels. So I did do the Grand Duels today, even while I was busy. I was able to just do the Grand Duels off to the side. I just finished up all my grinding on the Grand Duel for Extra 2, and Alco has, because my Grand is Cuckoo Clan there, Alco has been an invaluable piece of support because Alco in Super Alco has the skill cooldown skill on her. So that's been primarily how I've been pulling off my Kukulkan in a Grand Duel environment. We're going to run this at least for another 20 minutes or so. I think my cutoff for tonight's probably looking like around 10:30ish. So I want to push through as many of these quests as possible. I guess I would like to get the King Protease stuff done tonight, so I can really push through story next time. There's a buff called Block Protagonist Armor. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, 2 to 3 hours is where I generally hover. I don't usually only go for an hour or so, but I usually try to hit at least 2. Unless, like, I'm really tired. Today, I'm actually not that tired. I got a good amount of sleep. I'm hopped up on tea. I can go for a bit tonight. Admittedly, a part of me just wants to call it early so I can get back to work on the Stay Night script. My motivation on the Stay Night script is I'm not letting myself touch Hollow Autoroxia till at least the script for the Stay Night video is done. So I haven't touched Hollow Autoroxia yet, much to my chagrin. I want to play Hollow Autoroxia so badly. Yes! Get Hollow Autoroxia. It's out now. It's also on sale right now for the first day. I don't know if it's going to be past that, but on both Switch and Steam, it's I want to say it's a little bit marked down. Yeah, no, Lartoria, you're not dropping that. I regret to inform you, no. I also need to extinguish the last of my teapots. I've still got like 20 teapots left from my Grand Dueling. So I need to put some time into Grand Duel farming as well. Aoko is single and proposing social. That would be funny.
Innovation 始めます。はち切れそうでしょ。はい、NFS サービスです。日向のもちろんお望みの火薬の匂い。手は下げて、目は閉じて、受け入れます。あくまで華麗に。
We'll see what goes on with Mihoyo eventually. Though, like, I do know the other in Nasu's interview today, he mentioned that he wants to get back to Type Moon projects that have gone stalled during the time FGO was being written. So I'm hoping that means we can get back to Tsukuhime and Mihoyo too. But that's some hopium, and before Nasu said that, he said he wanted. I think I saw the translation said that he wanted to go play Elden Ring Night Ring. So unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be getting more visual novels. Instead, I have a feeling we'll be getting a lot of nothing while Nasu gets distracted with Elden Ring Night Ring. He lives in my house. Really cool. Get fucked over by a mystic code that I should not have at this point in the game. Get Snoop. Yeah, no, he does not have any say in the matter. He might. Actually, Yubal, Nasu in the interview says he doesn't think he'll have time for a break. I'm pretty sure in the interview he made a joke that he, like, you can tell, like, he has so much on his plate other than FGO. The moment he's done with FGO, he just gets to shift his focus to the other stuff. Like, he does not get a single moment for a break on this. Yeah, his break is disappearing to play FromSoft games.
NFS サービスです。お前にしていきます。そのように日向の失礼。こちらの話です。風は刃に目は閉じて受け入れます。おや雷雲去れ螺旋の空究極の位置我こそ
Had a few months free and then made his videos to finish them and start Kirby Air Riders. Yeah.
SE.RA.PH 消去次は宇宙の嵐を見せましょう大量なさ小さき者たちギャラクティカスーパーセル
Nasu's kind of a workaholic. Kinda. I mean, it seems like he's probably a bit of a workaholic. That is a break bar. I can't actually finish this guy off. Oh god, there's gonna be so much to do next updates. I've even thrown around the idea of doing a half-year updates instead of waiting all the way till next, I think March. But well, it probably will be till next March, but oh, it was tempting to be like, yeah, Seki, do you think we should do half-a-year updates instead of a year? But then I don't think we'd have that much to do next March, so it would just be changing the day of updates. Don't you want to? Yeah. It's gonna be longer than I'd hoped. It's actually probably gonna be one of our longer updates in general at this rate. Okay, so this is going pretty shitty. Cuckoo, no! Okay. Someone needs to die. Because this is not a party that's gonna work. You see, that was the one I didn't want to die. Who's in my backline right now? About to find out, I guess. Gilgamesh and Mash. You know what? I don't hate this. Surprisingly, I'm not that mad. This is not a functional team, and I would like if my Koyanskaya had actual health on her right now, but yeah, no, Koyanskaya's gonna die. True, I could have probably guessed it from the 10th anniversary. You are right, Doctor. No, it will not be longer than the round table video. There's almost no way. Of course, the first person you go after is Koyanskaya. And of course he has a guts. I don't think we're getting a collab this year, Tacos. No! Son of a bitch. Of course, I lost. I lost this one. I literally can't win this because he's going to kill Gilgamesh next round. No hard survivability. And he has guts. Fuck! New plan. I'm just gonna beat these things to death in round 1 and then start my loop. Because this is a significantly easier beat to death than King Hassan is. Or I could just kill Koyanskaya right before I even get the chance to do shit. Okay. Why? Did you have to hyper focus on that one Koyanskaya? Like, fuck that Koyanskaya in particular, I guess. Also, what were those hands? Of course, not a single Cuckoo card. Awesome. Freaking awesome. This should be good. Okay, I should be able to wipe it next round. Why? That only happened because he got 2 crits in a row at the very beginning. Fuck! I'm gonna try that one more time, but like I don't know. There's no reason this fight should be any kind of difficult. It's not. Why did I get the same Koyanskaya hand a second time in a row? Breathe in, breathe out. Of course, it's the same Kukulkan hand again, too. There. I should be able to kill it now. I'm gonna heal this Koyanskaya for good measure, but... And of course, it's not like I don't see that nullified buff going on right now. Thank you. How many times is that gonna want to nullify my buff? Because this could get very annoying very quickly. One left. That's not a problem. I don't need to, but I'm just gonna keep this on for the evade. I don't know if you guys' audio and video is getting desynced, but I'm gonna do that. That should fix it if there was any issue at all. I don't know if you guys have been getting that this time, though. King Hassan should be able to kill one of my Koyanskayas or Cuckoo. Or not, you should be able to touch Cuckoo though. Cuckoo should still have an evade on her that should last me the round. Can't proc a guts, so I'm good. That's fine. In fact, that's helpful. Saves me a tap. Hi, Red Cole. Okay. This time, I finished that. I don't know what that RNG was a moment ago, though, with the Hydra. Yeah, thanks for catching it, Red Colt. Okay. Right now, we're just kind of we're pushing our way through the King Protea missions of Seraph. About, yeah, a little more than halfway done. That said, I don't think I'll be able to continue the return looping. So I think that Hassan there was my indication that they're probably going to be a little bit meaner about that now. I'm gonna try, but I have a feeling that it's gonna stop me in the next from returning again. Right now, I'm kind of in the middle of going for servants. On NA, we're still in the we still have a Castoria Zerker banner going on, so I'm still rolling on that as I get free quartz of it, or as I get free quartz available. And on JP, oops, sorry for bumping the mic there. On JP, I'm dropping pretty much everything I've got right now on BB Pele because I don't have BB Pele to make work with my CL teams. I have to borrow one, so that would save me having to get rid of my Akoyanskaya slot for BB Pele. It just ups the damage output on that team a bit. As far as after Berserk Toria goes, I'm saving till Takeru on the New Year. Oh. Really? No break bars? Huh. I thought the game would be meaner. That's fair. He should be pretty easy to get too, because he's a 4-star. So hopefully you don't have a too hard a time getting him. Then again, no pity on 4 stars, and we've seen situations where 4 stars are harder to get than 5 stars for some people. So you got a fair amount of time to save though. Like that's not until I want to say going to be March. No. The Mihoyo collab is after it. Is before it, I'm pretty sure, or is it after it? It's after, because my brother rolled for Aoko, but didn't have many quartz because he was done rolling for Count of Monte Cristo. Man, I'm spoiled by JP showing you the amount for next bond level below the servants there. Late March. Okay. Is that late March in JP or late March is what it's going to be in NA? Because remember, NA, especially prior to anniversary, is usually about a month ahead. Okay, so you're accounting for that month ahead. So it was was an April release, but it'll be about a March. Okay. You have time though. He's also at the end of Ordeal Call 2. Like, he's not the launch banner for Ordeal Call 2. So you'll have an entire Ordeal Call to gain quartz on as well. And you can grind the free quests once it's over. I think you're probably sitting pretty comfy for Cagliostro. Especially because he's a 4-star. Like, unless your luck's screwed, you'll probably get at least one copy of him. That's fine, I don't need NP gain. I'm a Buster Looper. Eat power creep, bitch. Dantes? Yeah, my brother's a big Dantes fan as well. Though Dantes, my brother never goes a day without really being mad that Dantes has kind of fallen off of the meta. Like, I guess he doesn't keep up in the even post Ruler Scotty. He's one of those quick servants that just isn't keeping up. Such as gotcha. Or do you mean or did you mean Monte Cristo, like the single target Dantes? Because Monte Cristo shares a banner with Cagliostro. So if that's what you mean, then that's different. Monte Cristo is actually supposed to be really good. Like, the only boss, like, he basically, like, he's a win button unless the boss is built to resist debuffs. Yeah, I think we're just gonna push to the end of the King Protea quest line here. Are we gonna beat it? If I know. But we'll push to the end. We'll push till we unlock the last battle at least. And then I'll give it a try or two. I've beaten it before though, so I know this account can do it. The only problem is I don't remember what servant I used to beat it. I should have a couple strategies that work though. I should. Like, I know, actually I don't know if King Protea gets the, King Protea has to get the Supermassive trait. So chances are I can use Fujino to do extra damage to King Protea if I want. I can also try my Skahawk out. I feel like Super Orion can probably make a good argument. I could probably do some good things with Super Orion. Ah, here we go. I knew break bars would be mean again at some point soon. This is only round 2 though, so I'm actually fine. And I'm getting rid of those. I have an evade on Kukulkan. Yeah, I'm in a good spot. Saving until Kagetora Ruler. Kagetora Ruler is so good. I'm so mad that I want to Takeru more in Kagetora Ruler. Because otherwise Kagetora Ruler would be my next goal as well. Kagetora Ruler is probably going to be a staple of my GSSR and Destiny Order aims. It's just a problem of Kagekyo was on there as well, and those two are kind of my big wants right now for GSSR. You thought she was! Look at that, 1 HP. Now you're gonna get a planet drop, or sorry, a star dropped on you. Kage to a ruler is going to hurt, and I mean hurt to miss. Like if anything breaks my saving, for Takeru, it'll be Kage to a ruler. But I'm gonna have more self-control on that, and I don't have to have it for that long. I wish I had gotten Kagekyo this year during the GSSR, though, and the Destiny Order. Because that would have saved me the conundrum of what to do about that extra 1 slot. Yes, I've at least seen like the highlights of the interview with Nasu. I'm sure there's stuff I haven't seen yet, but I'm sort of seeing it as it comes. I've seen a lot of fun stuff in there, though. I saw information on how they settled on some of the stuff from last summer. You are going to push me to the last round, aren't you? That's fine. We'll do this. Because I'm not going to chance there being a... Dear God, that Korean Sky got the shit beaten out of her. Okay. I just need to kill that one. Why am I targeting? No! No! You're not who I want to target at all. Fuck. That was my bad. Is that just 1 turn? Yeah, it's 1 turn. Of course it is. Of course it is. I'm just going to withdraw and redo that. That was my fault, though. I would have already been dropping a sure hit NP on them if I hadn't fucked that up. But I do have to kill at least one of them, or else a single break bar is going to screw me over. Yes, I did get the 1,000 Saint Court's Zeros Reflection. I used that to pull off an NP5 Olga. I don't know that I saw that part about the next summer being an ordeal call for foreigners. I'll have to look that over again, but I don't know. I didn't see that myself. Not that part, anyway. Yes, kill. Kill. There we go. Now I can start a loop. How many? Why? Fuck! Okay, that's fine. I can make this work. I don't need the sure hit in the evade. Okay, I was looking at Nurture around there because she would have been the one to survive. These are all the extra servants, right? I knew they'd be dropping break bars on me. Okay. And I'm sure that I'm gonna get all sorts of bullshit effects with these brace bar breaks. I'll just wait and see, you ball. Because you never know what's going to drop coming soon. Like in JP, I don't give myself a lot of discretion or like, oh, maybe something I want will come more later in the year, because you don't know on JP. But on NA, like, if you're watching JP, just watch the upcoming banners. Especially knowing that every servant is going to rerun at least once next year. But also know that half of them have already run by the time Annie comes out. So it'll be complicated, but just watch the banners for JP for the rest of the year. Because they basically gave away a 5-star ticket. It's not really a 5-star ticket. You can make it not a 5-star ticket by just rolling stupid. But you get to pick your one 5-star that you want. And 1,000 quartz, unless you hit pity, is enough often to get NP 2 or 3, if not 4 or 5. Especially if you're saving for that servant outside the 1,000 as well. Like, you can get a really good servant out of that. All of my NP6s in JP, both of them, and were both saved up from, both obtained over the course of about 900 to 1,000 quartz. So you're in a good spot. With 1,000 puts you in a really good spot. 1,000 for Olga and around 490. Okay, we are at the... Ooh, I almost dropped the capture card there. Okay, this is the King Protea fight. So, oh look, it's a 90++ node, technically. We're not going in with Koyanskaya. My immediate thought is to go for a Super Orion sweep. So let's set up a Super Orion team and see how well this works out for me. We'll set it up here in B team. Set it up like that. Do I go with this? Or do I switch you for Koyanskaya? I'm switching you for Koyanskaya. Your Buster card doesn't actually help me that much. I have, on JP, I have NP6 CL and NP6 Aoko. NA, my highest is actually NP3 in that, or it's NP4 now actually, because I think I have NP4 Castoria at this point. For 5 stars, for SSRs only. Obviously, SRs I have NP5 of multiple of the non-limiteds and a few of the limiteds and all of the welfares, but I'm only talking 5 stars there. Good, you finally made it to the bottom. Now before you go on, let me tell you a little story. This story took place on the far side of the moon, a world entirely different from yours. Back when BB was modifying herself over and over to help her corrode the moon cell, she ended up creating 5 clones. These clones were high servants, made by fusing the growing emotions she could no longer control with the essences of various goddesses. These alter egos came to be known collectively as the SE.RA.PH. Meltrilus, the alter ego of pleasure, Passionate, the alter ego of love and hatred, and King Protea, the alter ego of yearning, is the one being compressed right over there. She's a sentient life form who will grow and expand to infinity if left unchecked, and can only exist digitally. Left to her own devices, this walking disaster would consume Seraph in the moon cell, eventually contaminating the ocean of stars. She doesn't look that dangerous. That's only because she's been reset to level 1. She's practically a newborn right now. And even then, just look at all these gravitational fluctuations she's causing. If she were ever to get out into the physical world, Here she comes. She goes bigger with every passing second, so you can't let this fight drag on. Blast her with everything you've got right away. If you can hit her faster than she can grow, you'll win. Another option, though, I don't recommend it, is to hold out for as long as possible. Even a monster like her has limits. There should be a moment of vulnerability when she's transitioning to her next growth phase that you can take advantage of. The cube's cracking. Love me. Love me. Please love me. I just want someone to love me, but no one ever does. Please tell me why I was born. Please help me quench my thirst. I'm so hungry. No matter how much I have, it's never enough. Oh, you're the one who found me, aren't you? I love you. I love you. I love you, so please. Please give yourself to me. Please allow me to live. Why did you need an NP8 Morgan, Woodcall? Are you trying to skip the 120? Or are you trying to skip the bond process for bond to get your servant coins or something? Okay, I'm gonna let this kinda play out for a bit. Because there's nothing you can really do, because she's just gonna keep gaining HP until one round, and I have to hope I have a good hand. Please keep going after Orion. Wow, okay. I'm actually going to withdraw and restart that. Getting one Orion card every round is just a bad hand for this fight. I want to get at least 2 Orion cards. Does anyone remember how many turns it takes her to hit a vulnerability stage? That'd be very helpful if anyone can remember that. Was either 3 or 5, and I don't... If it was 5, I really didn't need to reset that. And already, again, one of these hands. Got 5 copies. Again with all 3. I'm gonna hope that it's a 5-round reset. But I'm sure it's 3 because everything's on a timer of 3 in this game. Ooh. It's 5. Frick. And of course I get half my card timing is the worst. Okay. As soon as I withdraw from this fight, which I probably will have to withdraw because I think I'm going to get a bad combo of guards going into the reset round. Yeah, it's 5 rounds. And I don't have a single Orion card, so I have to reset this. But I do kind of want to see what the... I just want to get an idea of how much it drops to, because I have not done this fight in ages. And I didn't even do this fight in JP, because I really don't like this fight. Oh, we're still going? Okay. I don't really trust these guys not to die, so I'm gonna have to... Is that one turn or one time? One turn. Awesome. I blew that one. Pop that. I'm gonna hope to all hope that on the Merlin I have HP on still doesn't die, and B, that I get like two or three Super Orion cards next round. Okay. Still no regression. Is this 7 rounds? I don't know. But also, I don't really have a choice but to ditch that. Which sucks. I would have liked to have that crit steroid still, but I don't know how many rounds I need to wait for it to... Still no? Okay. It's a huge regression though. It's gonna... That will kill Klanskaya. Did I not activate the guts on Orion? That was stupid of me. Still not regressing. Okay. Ain't gonna do that, but I can totally get away with this. Yeah, because every time she regresses, she gets weaker and weaker. So you might not beat her at the first regression, but you could beat her at the last regression, like as you get more and more regression. So an Immortal team is another way to beat her. You either have to one-rounder or you have to Immortal team her. I'm hoping, beyond all hope, that this fight only goes as far, like round 10 is where she stops here, and then I can... No! Oh my god, I forgot how long this goes on for. Okay, it's one more. Nope, no active sub-members. Nothing. I could proc the guts, and then I lose my C-stars. I'm not gonna get a lot of sea service. Okay.
落ち着いて
We're going in like this.
シャープセイバーリズムに乗ってもっと大きく
Please don't hit Orion.
足りない
Okay. Next, she's gonna regress, I'm pretty sure, because she only had the one left. Oh, it's only after 20 turns. Okay, we're withdrawing that. Okay. New plan. Thanks for the court. I think I'm using Dakota Doyle's Scotty here, but... We'll see if this works out first. I'm not sure this one will work out the way it is. I might need to try something different. Okay. Yeah, it's this fight. If you have a good setup for it, it's a really easy fight because you just want to basically nuke it on this first round. That said, I don't have a particularly good setup for this.
古きルーンこういうこともできるルーンよ力をここに
Not a great hand either. I could try this with a different hand if it comes a little close.
いかにえぐり勝つか
Let's increase my gather rate. Cool.
絶技発
We're also going to do this, because in theory, you want to kill this in round 1. I don't think this will work. Because if I had class advantage be one thing, I don't think without class advantage just kill. Yeah, no. Nowhere near enough. Even an extra trait damage wouldn't do it. And now she's going to gain like 500k. I would need to be able to pull that off like 5 times in a row with no drop in damage. So that's not going to work. I have a few different plans though. So I'm gonna need some kind of advantage here. Shifting to my arts builds. Do I just try Castoria Ruler? I don't think so. Then again, Castoria Ruler could pull this off multiple rounds in a row. I might be able to outpace it, actually. Let's try this. Let's try Castoria Ruler. Could not hurt. Oh, Otto's live. We're going to try outpacing the HP gain. Because I can hit pretty high damage with my Castoria Ruler. Especially because I think, yeah, NP4. I was right. This is my highest... Normally, the way I go about it is trying to elongate the fight by not dropping all of my buffs on Castoria Ruler at once. That's not how I'm going to go about it this time, though. This time, the goal is... I don't need the... I could have done a little bit less there, but This time, the goal is to simply hit it till it dies. And I need... If it's not dying in 3 turns, I've probably done something wrong. At the very least, I know it has Divinity, so I should get some trait damage here. Oh god, I've barely done anything. Okay. Black Grail wasn't the play here. I'm going to go back real quickly. I forgot. With Castoria, Black Grail is not actually... Oh, no, that's only for Direct to Humanity, though, isn't it? Hang on. Castoria, what's your... Okay, no, it's only for... that only applies to Direct Humanity. It's not going to apply to the Divine aspect of that. Alright, I'm going to pull Castoria off because I don't think her damage is going to pace what I want it to do. That leaves us with a few more options here. We're going to just try straight counterclassing. Not sure this will work, but she's NP5 and is a straight counterclass. Yeah, that's like the way you have to do it if you want an easier time, is you outlast her until she eventually starts getting defense downs. That's sort of the last resort we could go for here, where basically the play would be I get my Morgan out, put Castoria and Merlin, Castoria and Merlin on either side of Morgan, and we Immortal Team this. Which may not work because she also eliminates healing. No, Immortal Team wouldn't work because she has a healing decrease. Hello, Nady. For anniversary, they went pretty well, actually. That's better than Castoria did. Okay. We can maintain this for the moment. I don't even mind if the others die here. Because there's no way she kills Hephaestion in this round. This is not a bad hand at all. I don't think this will work, but... we're gonna just try spiking her damage here and see where this gets us. I don't need to worry about recharge because she's not getting another round. Otherwise, normally I would go ABA. So my rolls for anniversary, I got, I actually managed to get 5 Olgas. Oh. Come on! No! Okay. What could I do to fix that? What is her overcharge? Because sometimes the overcharge is Rising Mudbrain's better than Black Grail. Her NP damage on the turn increases with overcharge. How much is that overcharge? She might just be better with Rising Mudrain, depending. But then again, I have a max out broken Black Grail, so it's not. It probably won't be that black and white. Okay. Overcharge. Overcharge at what would be 30%. Black Grail gives me a 80%. What about Rising Mudrain? I assume it's worse. If I don't have it maxed out broken, but I'm gonna... Won't know till I look. It's 30% plus what will be 70%. It's not worth it. If it's stacked, like if it was a 3-turn thing, it'd be worth it. It's not worth it this time, though. Okay. So there's nothing I could do to make this work better unless maybe Castoria with the Bondcraft Essence. I saw someone had one of those earlier. What does this Bondcraft Essence do? Literally just an attack up by 10% in NP gain. NP gain is not my biggest concern right now, so this setup's not working. Closest I've gotten, but not going to be able to do it before I need to worry about the damage. Okay, we're going to switch back to Buster, because I'm probably going to have to look at my Buster options here. She weren't an alter ego. If she weren't an alter ego, let me just say, Kukulkan would be a funny, easy win. But she's an alter ego, so that doesn't work. Buster options. Buster options. Let's look at my Berserkers. I don't really have any like Buster single target Berserkers, which is unfortunate because that would be my best play here as a Buster single target Berserker. I could whip out a Gajuna. I don't know if he's going to be enough though. I have a feeling like at NP1 I'm probably pulling out 700 to 800k on him. Maybe 900k on that final round. But otherwise I'm probably pulling off closer to 200k the first 2 rounds. Although his Buster resist down is stackable, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I don't think the Bond CE is the big problem here. I think I need to find something that'll let me knock it out quickly, or else I'm gonna have to stall this, and that's not gonna be fun for any of us. Fortunately, it's looking more and more like I'm going to need to do that. Draco's a no-go because she's an alter ego. Same with these guys, Van Gogh and Yang, who are also major boss killers for me. No, alter egos aren't good to alter egos, though. That was my immediate thought, but no, that's not the case. It's a servant. It's like a playable servant, so the kill chance is going to be really low. It's not something you want to gamble on. I'm going to try Gajuna, though I'm 99% sure this won't work. I probably should be 100% sure, but there's also the Buster crit cards in there. Of course, all my Buster cards are on round 1. That's actually pretty awful. Potentially. Do I have 2 Buster cards at high percentages? Yeah. Bit of a gamble, but I'm going to hold off on. I was hoping those Buster cards might last later, but we'll see. I'll at least get a good gauge of how much damage I'm doing here. Yeah, it's not a lot of damage on NP, so I don't think this is going to work. Had those Buster cards been on a later round, that probably would have been much better because the Buster resist down would have been much higher. I'm going to see how much damage I'm doing NP-wise going forward, but it's not looking too great. I've got a Guts, so that'll at least, hopefully, give me another round. And she resisted the Buster resist down. Yeah, this plan ain't gonna work. Like, let's just draw out Oberon for 2 seconds. I'm still pretty sure this doesn't work. Like, I'm only going to be doing about 300k. This is the best damage I'm going to be doing right here. Off sync? Okay, I'll fix that. Should be fixed now. I did 600k. That's not bad. At least I ended below 2 mil. Actually, no, I think she's about to... Yeah, no. I ended up higher than where we started. I've only paced her. Okay, we're resetting. I could go for a trait. There is a trait way to do this with trait damage. I don't think it'll work out very well for me, but I'll fuck around here. My skills are also not spectacular. But if I'm not wrong, significant special attack. We'll give Fujino a try. I don't think this will work, because I've already tried Anti-Divine, and that didn't work very well, but we'll give Fujino a shot. What'd you mean to ask, though? Who are you? The court situation for this year's Annie was great. They gave out 1,000 free courts, if you were caught up on story. Alright, let's see what the damage output is on Fujino on round 1. Yeah, NP2 Fujino ain't doing it. That was only like 200k. 150k. So far, the best output has been just without question, it's been Hephaestion. Hephaestion actually got really close to winning in that last round. Honestly, if I had, we could keep beating our head against the wall on Hephaestion here, maybe. Because I didn't need all of the refund that I got on Hephaestion. I really didn't. But I did need Oberon to get that low. Hephaestion did the largest chunk of damage with Oberon. So returning to Hephaestion. Would it be possible for me to switch out somebody like a Castoria or a one of my Castorias or my for a Proto Merlin or a to get some extra crit damage out of this? I don't think she had the Sea Stars to back it up. Yeah, I don't think she had the Sea Stars to back that up. Crit probably wouldn't help me that much. We'll try this again with Hephaestion. Maybe I can get lucky with some high rolls. Oh, I might have fucked up. Fucked up. I want to try it again. I shouldn't have procced her own battery. Because I need that... what made Hephaestion's last turn work so with Oberon is Hephaestion's overcharge skill basically added an extra 60% to be doubled by Oberon. What I need to happen is I need her Arts and Buster thing, like resist downs, to actually land and proc. And I need to hit higher rolls across the board every round. The more of her Buster and Arts cards get saved to the end, the better for me. Because those are the cards that'll be given the most Arts and Buster resist down effects on them. I'm gonna try something weird, though. I'm gonna try something very weird. Because I don't have... Let's see if this play works. Because that'll give me a little extra attack. I'm gonna have Oberon's cards for a failed chain. And the NP damage up. Yes! Okay, this is working! I like this. And the Arts and Buster procced. And a full recharge, so I don't need to pop the other charges yet. So far, so good. If I can pop an... I might be able to win. I think I've got this, actually. That was significantly better than before, and the NP damage up really helps. Okay. I procced it again on Arts, but that's the one that's the most important. Okay. I should have some Arts cards here, so... I think... If any run... Arts is the best one to keep at the end because the 2 Arch resist downs, I'm pretty sure. The strategy, I'm sure they have. There's probably servants that have better better approaches. There's entire new classes that have been released. I did it. Oh, I did it. There we go. Use command seals when I can. Sometimes I just... You never know when you want to use a command seal. But yeah, we got that. Finally did it. There we go. That worked out. Just had to bring an Oberon for that NP damage up. So this means I'm going to disappear, doesn't it? Now I'll never get to go outside. Still, at least you came all this way. You weren't afraid of me. I hate my mother, but my memories of her are warm. All I wanted was to touch someone. That's all I needed to be fulfilled. Even though our contact was barely enough to satisfy my curiosity, I'm still glad I got to touch you. I'm so happy I met someone stronger than me. The universe really is a big place, isn't it? Maybe this means I'll still get to be a beautiful blushing bride someday. Did I really do the right thing? About King Protea, you mean? It may not have been the happiest solution, but yes, it was the right one. That thing has no place in the digital world. In a world without physical limits, Protea has no way of escaping her own ego, her T.H.E. Buddhism teaches that love is essential, a heart that never stops yearning. It is T.H.E, in which no matter how much you eat, how fulfilled you feel, or how much you grow, it will always leave you wanting more. Such longing is a black hole for the mind. No matter how much love you give it, it will never truly be full, and so long as it is not full, the heart can never hope to grow. That alter ego can never hope to find salvation as long as she isn't safe. However, in the physical world, with firm laws and built-in limits, there's a different story. After all, once you've run out of food or can't grow anymore, that's proof that your cup runneth over. So if a certain master with freakishly weird taste decided to try summoning that monster just for kicks, who knows? He might be just miraculously succeed saving her without changing her monstrous nature. Anyway, now that King Protea is gone, the gravitational fluctuations that have followed suit, this little side story has officially come to an end. It's time for you to get back to the main plot. Go laugh that ridiculous Cyber City out of existence. Aren't you going to help me, Electronic Fairy? Didn't I already tell you, I don't do hard labor. I mean, just look at me. My favorite fame is writing of fairy tales. I need to make the story a whole lot more exciting before I could show my face in the epilogue. So I'll sit this one out and let you guys handle it. If I showed up now, I'd end up making the ending one big anticlimax. Believe me, I have every confidence I take the wind out of that cow's sails with my sweet nothings. That said, there's no way she'd be satisfied with only dying off once. She'd just come right back to life, and I'd have to destroy her all over again. It wouldn't actually resolve anything. No, the only kind of person who can really break her spirit is a fool like you, not a twisted guy like me. Of course, if you try to face her directly, she'll probably just wipe you all out, but I'm sure you can figure out a way around that if you put your mind to it. So once this is all wrapped up, make sure you tell the other version of me all about this someday. It'll give him a good laugh. Consider that a reward for showing you the way here. Now, go out there and win one for the fairy. The problem is, Taka, the command spells would really not help me that much in that fight. Because the problem wasn't getting NPs, the problem was doing the damage to keep up with it. So unless I went and jacked up my class score, because I believe I could at this point, if that's one option I could have done. Jack up my class score on, say, a Berserker or something, and try it with command spells. There's not much I really could have done to pull off anything crazy with command spells. Because otherwise I'm reviving and just waiting until round 20. Which isn't going very far either. So, it just wasn't going to work out that way, I don't think. Okay, what's in my rewards? Saint Court. We are pushing a little later. It's only... Yeah, it's been 2 hours, 42 minutes. We are pushing pretty late. Okay, Gosh, I have a lot of Ventral Plane quests to do. 5? I guess just 5. I'm not going to do them now, but... Okay, while I'm here, though, let's look at my friends list. I've got 2 friends. When did I lose a friend slot? Or I guess I might have leveled them master level. Let's see. Anyone that's on the pending list, let me know if you see your name here. And I'll have you added. Because I've had to remove people. As for friends, Noda 6 days ago, I'm gonna remove you to make room. Seki actually logged in a day ago. I'm gonna leave Nemo. It's only 1 day off, 1 missed login streak. Could switch things around in the next 24 hours. And then anyone on the streak missed too many days? Nah, Baba missed a day, but I'm not gonna get on them. So if anyone sees their name in that list, let me know. I'll have them added. If you're not in that list and you're watching stream right now, here's my friend code. Screenshot it and send it before I do anything friends list wise, and I'll be adding 2 new friends today. I'm gonna back out for a moment, and we'll kill some time so you can do what you need to do, get your friends request in, or let me know if you're in there. Oh look, the Scotty rate up. But no, we're going back to Castoria, and I'm just gonna drop a few singles. Partially because I'm almost to a bonus. Can I finally get my Suzuka? I never got Suzuka with over 900 quartz. Not one Suzuka. 4 Chloes, 4 Castorias, 0 Suzukas. So like when I was saying that the 4-star is easy to get, don't listen to me, I'm wrong. Another 3-star servant. Probably the same exact one. No, a different one. You only got a Suzuka? Okay, and I'm just going to drop this last single. Because I have... Once I hit a banner that I want, I don't really hold off on anything. It's probably going to be a CE. Yeah. Not even a crazy good one. Okay. I'm 99% sure I got everything from the shop this month already, but... Yeah, I did. Sweet. Okay. That banner should have less than a week left, too, so... And I don't think there's anything left in the shop for me to buy. No. Okay. Oh, I should do my friend summon. I always forget about that. I never do it, and I have so many friend points that I'm ready for the Hakunos. They can come at me. Okay. Friends list. I don't think I got any new friend requests in. Oh no, I got a new one. Okay. Let's see if I can find them here. They had to have been a recent login. Oh. It can only be... I guess Ferdy's the newest one. Oh, I see U-Ball. I know U-Ball's on the channel. So I'll accept U-Ball's request. Do I recognize any other names here? Just... Yeah, I got you, U-Ball. No other names here. Okay, so I'll just add Ferdy here since Ferdy's probably the newest request. And yeah, looking at the people down here, that's it for friend slots for today. I'm just never going to run out of friend requests to add going forward, so you can keep them coming if you want. It's going to be a minute, though, until you start seeing some of these players drop off. When people stop logging in, I tend to remove them, so if you missed your login streak enough, you might have been removed. Okay. All right, that's gonna be it for that. I'll stick around and chat till 10 though, if y'all want to. If y'all are interested in sticking around. Just unplug that. Ooh, get that out of my ear. Close FGONA. Oh, sorry for the sound. Oh god, that can't sound good on the mic right now. I'm sorry about that, guys. There we go. So yeah, that's we just had that was a pretty fun anniversary. I'm interested in seeing what's coming up. So summer is right around the corner here, and right now we don't even have any hint as to what the next summer servants are. But according to Nasu, the next summer servants are going to be pretty crazy. Practicing button mashing for Melty Blood. We'll see, Nady. We'll see. We'll see next time I play Melty Blood on the channel, because obviously I did not play Melty Blood for lack of practice. I was perfectly willing to play Melty Blood with no practice. But it's just a matter of finding time to stream Melty Blood for the channel. Like this week, I would have streamed. I actually almost streamed twice this week, but then I realized that I still need to edit that Extella video. So yeah, that didn't happen this week. And Seki's back next week, so I don't know if she's gonna want to stream immediately, or if she does stream, she might stream weird hours. But Seki will be back at least in the States next week. I want to kidnap Seki for a Fire Emblem tour stream, because I've been A, itching to play some Fire Emblem lately, and B, I feel like she'd actually like Three Houses, because that's her it fits her story sense. She loves she loves Baldur's Gate, and Baldur's Gate is, when you really get down to like ignore the D&D in the room, it is kind of a tactics RPG. So I have a feeling she'd click well with that system. I feel like she'd click really well with Three Houses, so I'm curious to have her try it. It is a good stream buffer from waiting for stuff. The problem is I don't typically restream the Fate events. I've only streamed 2 now. Yeah, streamed 2. I did a pre-recorded for last anniversary, but I streamed the Fate Stay Night 20th and the this year's anniversary. And I'm not going to be able to stream the finale or the finale. Or actually, I'll be able to stream the finale. Sorry, Freudian slip. I won't be able to stream the New Year's stream, A, because that's like a copyright hell to navigate, because it's technically a TV broadcast, and B, because I don't know, I probably could, time wise I could stream it. At that point. I have that next day off, but no, you won't be seeing me restream the New Year's show. I'll say that. Just too dangerous. Finale though. FGO's finale. Good news, guys. I don't leave until the day after the finale drops. So, accounting for Japan time, and this is, because when I say day after, I'm not accounting for Japan time, I'll actually be able to stream it twice before I leave. So, barring any sort of time gating, or any, like, whether it be proper time gates or raid bars that I need to wait like half a week for them to finally end, I will be able to stream at least a good chunk of that finale. I'm going to give you all 2 caveats, though. I might not stream everything with the finale. I'm going to stream the finale, like the final boss and the ending. Or the final boss. But chances are, if it's a raid event, I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I might be able to, I would just have to sit out of the raids, I guess. Because I can't really just stream one fight being the finale if it's just a single finale fight. And if I miss, like, most of the raids because they're all while I'm out of town, there's not much I can do about that. Finale's on the 21st. I'm pretty sure. Finale is the 20th. No, it's the 20th. Sorry, it comes out the 20th. Meaning for us, it's going to look like the morning of the 19th. So I'll be able to stream Friday the 19th and Saturday the 20th of December, which will be wonderful. I can at least stream a chunk of the finale, if not the full thing. I really need to see what form that finale takes. Rest assured, if I can't finish the finale before I leave, I'm just gonna like literally the weekend I get back. I'll probably it might be at weird times because I'll be jet lagged to hell and back, but I'll stream the finale as well, like get done like the full finish, and then whatever New Year's thing FGO is going on, you'll also see that during that stream. Then again, you all probably won't see my New Year's rolls, probably not. Actually, it'll be kind of fun being in Japan for that, because I have a feeling I won't be region locked out of certain things while I'm there. So, like, I might be able to watch the TV broadcast live. I also might be busy that day while the TV broadcast is going on. I don't know what time that is in Japan. So, who knows? Yeah. Fun fact, it was almost last year at around the time of anniversary. I almost jokingly tried to see if I can get anniversary, or not jokingly, I almost tried to see if I can get anniversary tickets last year just for the fun of it. Turn into parts that are copyright problems into a Discord VC. Look, if I were actually in the States for the New Year's broadcast, I might consider it. I might. And no, you need to understand is the entirety of the New Year's broadcast is the problem. Because normally you're only looking out for anime issues with Discord VC, or not with Discord VC, with copyright for the New Year's, or for the average FGO stream or the average anniversary stream. The New Year's broadcast, though, is a proper broadcast, like a proper TV programming thing on national TV in Japan. So if you restream it, it's not necessarily FGO going after you or Type Moon going after you, it's the broadcast station, which is going to be a lot quicker to the punch. I think both Kita-Sean and Trubs have run into issues with them. So I'm not going to chance it. And the problem is with restreaming the New Year's stream is more so than even the anniversary stream. It's a whole lot of talking. I actually find those streams very entertaining to watch with translations, because they tend to just be more fun than anything. And the news isn't really till the very end, and it's not as much. It's not like a 10-part campaign like the anniversary is. It's literally just the GSSR, the servant. If they have something fun to announce for the year, they'll announce it there, like if there's an anime or something. Discord is easier to at least be quiet about, like, unless one of y'all reported me, which we're a small enough community, I think we'd be safe. It would be fine to stream it on the Discord, but there's not a lot for me to do. Like, there's just not. Like, reacting to the new servant is awesome. Reacting to the, like, doing GSSR on stream would be cool, but I could do GSSR on stream without being in the New Year's, without reacting to the New Year's broadcast. And not next year, but assuming there is a following year, I'll probably do that the following year at least, because I can stream at a ridiculous time on the night of the 30th or the morning of the 31st. But actually reacting to the stream, there's just not a lot of use for it. 2D the extra cast again, that'd be nice. That'd be nice. Oh, you know, one thing that's I'm seeing collectively everyone is finally, like, truly fed up with, Strange Fake. I am actually hitting the point of done with Strange Fake. Like, we'll see if I watch episode 2 when it releases finally, but I might just stop trying to catch all the new episodes, because it's like I don't want to watch these episodes, forget what happened like 6 months ago, the last time I watched an episode, and try to watch the next episode. It's ridiculous. I'm hoping that they're being purposely coy about it because they have to be, and they're and that there's a reason they're not pushing it to you, because I do understand that Naruto's not done with the series, so obviously they can't adapt it in full. But 12 episode cores are a thing for a reason. And if they got that first 12 episodes out and then waited on a season 2 until Naruto was done, that would be a completely different story. The fact that they have the anime announced, and if they weren't going to do it, they shouldn't have announced it. The fact that they had it announced and that they're going through all these episodes is just ridiculous. They should not have announced it if they weren't ready to go into full production swing on it. Personally, my cope beyond cope, is that the reason no formal broadcast was announced at the anniversary was some weird contracting thing with Aniplex. Because Aniplex, if you'll remember, is the ones that got the exclusive reveal for Strange Fake. Even though it was not long after an FGO anniversary when it got revealed in the summer. Aniplex Online is in early September this year, if I'm not wrong. That's where the Strange Fake Whispers at Dawn was announced. It wouldn't surprise me at all if they had to wait till Aniplex Online to announce the broadcast details for the full season. Like if that was something they had to do as part of contracts and obligations. That would excuse episode 2 for me. Because we also know episode 2 didn't even get an air date. That's always been the most suspicious part for me, is that episode 2 was not announced at was only previewed at FGO Fest, and then didn't even get an air date. Like no drop date for everyone else. That means they have something going on with that. Otherwise, it would be available to us like now. There's something else they're doing with episode 2, and the only cope I can have at this point is that it's just that they have to wait till Aniplex Online to announce anything concrete. The 2025, yes, that is true. There was a that is true, Nady. The 2025, there is one 2025 silhouette that won't release this year that got delayed to next year. We don't really know what it is. I'm going to go out on a limb and say an event got pushed to make room for Grand Duel. I don't know if it was a last minute thing or what their plan was, but actually, no, I kind of know what it was. Apparently, Yu Olga was not always the original. Yu Olga wasn't always the original anniversary servant. It was going to be someone else. And so someone in that silhouettes that they were going to do this year, they chose to do next year, is what they said. I don't know how far in advance that decision would have had to been made for it to not be reflected in the silhouettes, but that's what they were saying, or something like that. Because you read the light novel, you just forget the episodes and wait till it comes out. Yeah, no, that's fair, Tacos. That's fair. That's kind of the point where I'm at. Since we're reading the light novels for the channel anyways, we're just going to read the second half the moment that final book is translated. So I'm not... We've already read up to where the end of the first season would be anyways. So I'm not worried about it too much. Not in terms of like experiencing the story. Just following the anime though it's irritating. It's irritating. I'm coping that it's not as big of a clusterfuck and that they have their hands tied as far as announcements go. That's my hope. There are theory, like I saw you had the theory, and I saw someone else throwing it around at some point too, that Naruto just does not want the full series to be adapted until he's done. So he's kind of holding it in the reins, and it's just every time he's unable to finish before a deadline. That's why we haven't had the full broadcast yet. Other theories right now include Solo Leveling was being given the priority, and that led to a tumultuous production hell. God only knows. God only knows what's happening with that. But like, if it is as bad as it looks, I'm pretty done following the series episode to episode until like the full series is releasing, and I might even say fully out, because fuck if I'm going to be stuck in a situation where like 9 episodes releases and we're waiting on 3 more, and then it goes into production hell and they have to delay it, and like they're releasing episodes monthly like what they did with 86. Same studio, by the way. The manga, didn't the manga just get a new volume? I swear to God, the manga got an update only a month or 2 ago, and they were advertising a bit of that on the anniversary stream this year. But I could be wrong about that. Your dad's upset he's never heard of the new news. um, it's also interesting to me that MiHoYo was completely absent. The MiHoYo movies from this anniversary, like not even a mention, and we haven't had a mention since they dropped a trailer like New Year's 2 years ago or something like that. Tacos, what did you just post in the Discord while going A? 60% off. Maybe I'll pick that up because I'm sure that'll be a stream one day and getting it on sale. Yeah, that's entirely on Ufotable. It is entirely on Ufotable. Word right now, or the speculation right now, is that it's entirely because of the Demon Slayer movie trilogy. Ufotable basically said, "Fuck MiHoYo, we're gonna finish this. We're gonna do this because this is what brings in the money." God only knows, and the fact that the Demon Slayer movies are a trilogy hurts me internally because they're not releasing those at more than a pace of once a year, if not once every 2 years. And when you think of it that way, it could be a solid 3 to 6 years before we finally get MiHoYo. 4 to 6 years, technically. No, I didn't buy Emiya Gohan yet. I've really been saving it until it either goes on sale or until I saw a time when I wanted to stream it. But yeah, Heaven's Feel. Well, COVID really only affected the release of Heaven's Feel, didn't it? Because COVID sort of dropped right when the final Heaven's Feel movie came out. I know because it was actually out in Japan by the time COVID really hit. Way before COVID hit, I believe. Because when COVID hit, I tried to go see the finale of MiHoYo released in theater. Or not MiHoYo, of MiHoYo on the mind. The finale of Heaven's Feel in theaters. But then I was stopped by COVID lockdowns. Actually, it was crazy. The county I was seeing it in wasn't locked down. Like, my county was locked down, but I traveled to another county that wasn't locked down to go watch the re-airing or they brought movies 1 and 2 back to theaters. So I watched those with actually Vorn and Danny Boy, if anyone remembers Danny Boy, and my brother. And then we planned to go watch 3 the same exact way, like a week later. In that week, that county got shut down, and I was completely unable to see it and there was no counties closer than like 3 hours or like an hour and a half away from me where I could go see it. And it really was not worth it to go all the way that far out there because I just wouldn't be able to find the time. I would have had to take that time off work to go see it because it's in the middle of the week. I was so mad about that. I ended up pirating the movie when it released in Blu-ray in Japan, and later it did end up re-releasing in theaters in English. So I watched it when it came out again in theaters in English because at that point everything was opening back up, or the theater was open back up so long as you wore a mask. But yeah, that I remember that Heaven's Feel. I want to say that was out by the time the final COVID movie, the final one, released. I don't think it got delayed by COVID. If that final movie, let me take a look at when that final movie released. But they usually had about like a half year between the theater runs of the final movie and in Japan and then in America. Heaven's Feel, Spring Song. Yeah, it was 2020. It was it released in August of 2020. So, like, no, it would not have been delayed by COVID. Like, at least the production of the film wasn't delayed by COVID. Maybe a couple months. Like, for it to be in August, maybe it was delayed a few months because a spring song, they were probably looking at releasing in the spring. But it wasn't delayed by a year or so. That gap was entirely that gap was entirely just because that's how long the production took. Normally, because COVID didn't really start impacting Japanese. The Japanese release schedules until 2020. 3 wasn't 2021, it was 2020. In the West, it was 2021. West English theaters, it was 2021. It released in Japan in 2020, though. Which is funny, because then it released in English theaters in spring of 2021. So I guess that, but not in Japan. It didn't release in spring of Japan at all. Yeah, I don't think Heaven's Feel is affected by COVID. Hilariously, Demon Slayer might have been, because I think Demon Slayer was already coming out at that point, and the Demon Slayer film had I'm pretty sure it had a pretty good gap between the Demon Slayer first season and the first film. Let me take a look at that. Kimetsu no Yaiba. I have not kept up with Demon Slayer. I actually like Demon Slayer well enough. I just failed to keep up with it. So it started release in 2021. Okay, no, never mind. Oh no. It was 2019. The movie though came out in late 2020. Never mind. I guess it was only a year. It was only a year. Oh, I agree with you, Tacos. MiHoYo should be a two-parter. I don't know that you could make it work more in two parts, just pacing-wise. Because the reason why they made Heaven's Feel work by basically giving Heaven's Feel an extra climb. Right, I was thinking they slowed down the pacing of the first Heaven's Feel movie quite a bit to make it work with that, kind of. While also speeding it. It's a little... That Heaven's Feel pacing's weird. But they definitely, like, did a good job in Heaven's Feel of pinpointing 3 different climaxes they could use. I don't think the same thing exists for MiHoYo. Because you really couldn't turn the time between any one of the action scenes other than the big middle one with Flat Snark and the final one with Bale. You really couldn't. Outside of those, like those two would work well as climaxes. Everything else, I don't think would work. Kitsuland Finale Part 2, Kwonji into 5. Yeah, that's where I agree, Tacos. Just in terms of pacing of a film, that's where you would have to cut it. I'm sure that means that a lot of things need to be cut for time. Still, because especially the Part 2, Kwonji Mansion to 5, there's so much in there that would need to be cut, but I don't think they would be able to get away with releasing a full slice of life film with half of that portion in there. They would have to do Kwonji Mansion to 5, which means a lot of the second half of the visual novel would be cut down. But I also think that works better than trying to squish it all into one film. You really couldn't squish it all into one film. Unfortunately, Dohiwario, I think Penguin gets sort of cut the same way. There's still an entire, from what I understand, book for Garden of Sinners that was never adapted because it was more of a fan service thing. I don't think they'll ever adapt the mystery game. Fun as that would be, if they did it, it'd be like an OVA or something. I don't know. I want to see that MiHoYo film, but like I don't know. It would be a fun OVA. You're right, Tacos. It would be a really fun OVA. I do, call me crazy. What Type Moon should do is contract with Ufotable to make a fully, like those Choose Your Own Adventure game DVDs? Just, like, take the visual novel engine of Type Moon and animate an OVA with, like, Choose Your Own Adventure endings. That would be funny. That would be funny if Type Moon worked with Ufotable to do something like that. That would be hilarious, I think. And then, like, as a bonus disc with the second MiHoYo movie, come on, like that's a beautiful idea right there. They never do it, but it's a beautiful idea. I've had this feeling, and this is before that Strange Fake was announced, that Type Moon has kind of lost their groove on the anime portion. I don't know what caused it. Maybe Case Files or Extra Last Encore didn't do as well as they'd hoped, or Babylonia didn't do as well as they hoped. But they've been a lot less gung-ho since then about jumping in on TV anime. We, like, before Strange Fake, and even with, like, right now Strange Fake, we haven't had a single new TV anime since Babylonia. And this is a huge gap compared to what we used to have with Type Moon anime during, like, the early FGO years when we had, like, Extra Record. We had Apocrypha pretty early, like, right before that. Case Files and Babylonia were relatively quick out there. They used to be releasing, and then you have the Prisma seasons too. Like they used to release anime relatively consistently. We haven't had any of that lately since Babylonia. And at first I was like, okay, there's COVID in the middle there. Maybe COVID caused production issues. Anything that they had on the plan might have been delayed or scrapped. But now we're starting to see with Strange Fake and MiHoYo that they're not getting those well off the ground either. Those are in production. We know they exist, and then they're in production hell, as far as we can tell. So I'm really getting the feeling something either in the industry or with Type Moon is like really holding up their anime productions, or they're just not giving them the same oversight they used to. I think Holoroxia they should do is like either have Ufotable do it, like just do the story portions as a movie, and they cut out a lot of the slice of life, I'm sure, or just do this, because from what I understand, Holoroxia, a lot of the slice of life portions made their way into other works, some of which got adapted anyways. But I don't know. I haven't read Holoroxia, so maybe I'm speaking blasphemy here. But yeah, no, I like even obviously I think Prisma disappeared too, but Prisma's a situation where that manga is releasing at the speed of molasses, so you can't really adapt what doesn't exist unless you want Prisma two-way hers to happen again, and no one wants Prisma two-way hers to happen again. Tsukuhime anime would be nice. That would be nice, but I think they would want Ufotable doing it based off of those, because they like to keep the animation studio the same for their projects, like how Extra Last Encore was done by the same studio that does the cutscenes for Extella and CCC, or the anime scenes like the intro. So who knows? They hinted at a Tsukihime anime adaptation too when they first announced it. That's why that was their justification for not giving MiHoYo an anime intro, was that when they made MiHoYo, there was no intention of ever anime adapting it, or they never saw it getting an anime adaptation or something like that. I saw an interview like that at some point. So I don't know. I just think something in Type Moon is complicating it. And my personal opinion is that they've expanded enough to where they've probably lost the ability to have oversight of that many projects at once. Because we're seeing it with non-anime projects as well, but I think the anime projects are just where it's most obvious right now. A Piece in Paradise. So who knows? Who knows what's going on with them in anime? It's just crazy that when I got into the franchise, it felt like it was viable to be into the franchise. Because okay, let me get into this for a second here. So like, when I was getting into the franchise to Type Moon in general, like all the way, I'd even say like, basically all the way up until the Babylonian anime adaptation. Like that's around the time where it starts to feel rough. I feel like if you're an anime only, you could have kept up with at least the general tone of Type Moon, like the general direction of Type Moon, just off their anime. Most of the Stay Night Roots had adaptations at that time. In fact, I think Heaven's Feel is starting its adaptation. A lot of the major projects had adaptations or were known to be getting adaptations. But these days, like, it does not feel like that's quite the same. Like, if you're an anime only, you're probably not a Type Moon fan anymore because it's just been that long between major projects that have been completed. You've either got fed up and moved on to the source material, or you've just fallen off the wagon for other more consistent anime franchises that are coming out right now. That's my opinion, though. As an anime franchise, Type Moon is really, like, Type Moon and Fate have really fallen off. I don't know. Like, I know that this is not something that's exclusive to the anime projects as far as Type Moon fans go. I know if you're a longer time Type Moon fan, a lot of them are feeling that with the visual novels, because Our last visual novel was 2021? 2021? Was that Tsukuhime Piece of Blue Glass Moon? Let me verify that. It might have been 2022. Piece of Blue Glass Moon. Was 2021. Yeah. So it was 2021. So I don't think that this feeling of Type Moon having like project management issues is necessarily just an anime thing. I personally also think it goes to the manga too. And the light novels, because like, and when I say this, I'm not on the band that's like it's all FGO's fault. I don't think it's all FGO's fault, because it's not just Nasu, and not all these authors have had a consistent presence in FGO. Like I don't think Prisma's author, like who's Prisma's? Is Prisma's author one of the ones that are involved in FGO? Fate, Khalid, Liner, Prisma, Ilya. Is done by... Yeah, no, that's not... Outside of maybe guest scenes, I don't think that author is heavily involved in FGO yet. That manga has had on and off hiatuses, to my understanding. Obviously, like obviously Requiem's the big one, and sure, Meteor, it did at one point have a pretty good involvement in FGO, but he's as far as we can tell, he's fallen off the radar for FGO as well. I don't think anyone has identified any events that he solely wrote in a long time. The last one I saw that he potentially wrote was Sea Monster Crisis, I think. The only ones who really have the FGO excuse right now for projects are Nasu himself and Sakurai. Like, I can see why Lost Ainyar is not updated. Sakurai is probably the second most involved author on FGO, next to Nasu, as far as from everything I've seen. So, and it seems like they're like more so than FGO being the problem. It's a Type Moon management issue. They're just not managing as many projects as they have going at once, like they used to, and at least that's what it seems like to me. I don't know. Like, obviously, I don't have any inside information on the company culture. So busy looking at Abby and Aris fan art. I don't think FGO ending is going to solve all the issues of Type Moon. I genuinely don't. I think FGO isn't necessarily robbing focus from these other projects so much as FGO is, and I know we all, and if you're an FGO fan, everyone hates Papa Sony because they're probably responsible for the Servant Coin crisis of 2024. But that upper management is probably the only reason FGO still gets consistent content compared to everything else in Type Moon. Like, if FGO did not have a big corporate overlord managing it and a lot of money on the line, I'm pretty sure FGO would be in the same development hell that every other Type Moon project right now seems to be in. Because, like, it seems like everything is in development hell. FGO, to some extent, is in development hell. We don't call it Ordeal Stall for nothing. It very clearly feels like a certain run of FGO was being written by the seat of its pants, as they stalled out development of assets and giving Nasu more time to write. It's just that having that extra corporate oversight is the only reason FGO has remained consistent next to these other projects. That's what it seems like to me, though. Yeah, that's just what it seems like to me. All right, well, I think that's about where I want to end it. Anything coming up this week for the channel? End of the week, we have a Reacts coming up. I don't remember... Oh, I remember what the Reacts is. I'll give you guys this hint on the next Reacts. The next Reacts is the Servant is technically one that releases an NA next year. So, well, you can look at next year's NA Servants. What about next week's videos? Can I give you guys a sneak preview into next week's videos? Yeah. So next week, it's not obviously the community post isn't up yet, but we have a manhwa called "The Lady and Her Butler." That'll be going up next week, and then on the 13th, well, I'm not going to give you guys any hints on this one right now. We have another SE.RA.PH Reacts going up the 13th of August, and then if y'all want to know when my Extella video is coming up, it's the 15th of August. So not next week, but the week after is when Extella is coming up. That I need to get back into the editing minds. I really need to get back into the editing minds on that. Fuck me. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and let you go. I'll see y'all around. Next week's stream probably going to be either Monday or Thursday. Monday or Thursday, knowing my schedule next week. So yeah, I'll see y'all then. Bye. Oh, progress update. I actually gave one earlier in the stream. Yeah, I can give that real quickly. Earlier in the stream, I did give a Fate Stay Night progress update, but so far I'm like 2/3 of the way through the script. I finished everything to do with the Fate route. I could literally record the Fate route video right now and put that out as a standalone video. That's how far into it I am. And I've finished like 90% of the UBW route section. I just need to do the analysis portion. I was writing that literally up until the stream today. So the UBW should be done tonight or tomorrow. Heaven's Feel is that one's always kind of been the one that's going to have the most like time and work put into it, because it's the route that I have the most to chew on, really. So I don't know if I'm going to be as quick about Heaven's Feel as I was with the restart with my restart of doing the Fate route and getting through the UBW route has been. But we'll see. So yeah, I'll see you all next week. Look forward to this Friday's Reacts, and I hope you all have a good one.